Welcome to another Disneyland Hotel Diary. In this explainer, we're digging into a hotel that's just a stone's throw from the park, the Queens Inn Anaheim. We've sifted through hundreds of guest reviews to figure out if its promise of being budget-friendly and convenient actually holds up. So, let's break it down.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The whole idea behind the Queens Inn Anaheim is pretty simple. It's for anyone who looks at the prices of the on-property hotels and thinks, no way. The premise is clear. Get a decent room that's just a short walk from the gates and have more money left over for churros.
And at first glance, it totally looks the part, right? It's got that classic Southern California motel vibe, exactly the kind of place you'd expect to find right outside a huge theme park. And it promises that key ingredient, convenience, with a location just a 1-mile walk from all the magic.
But here's where things get interesting. When you pull together the data from over 350 guest reviews, the average score comes in at a 3.7 out of 5. Now, that's not terrible, but it's certainly not glowing either. It's decidedly average.
So that really begs the question, what is pulling that number down? Is this a hidden gem that just gets a bad rap from a few overly critical guests? Or are there some real red flags hiding behind that convenient address? Well, let's find out.
So, to start, let's look at how the hotel sells itself. This is the official pitch, what the Queens Inn wants you to know before you click that book button.
The core promise here is all about value. They're positioning themselves as the smart choice, telling you that you can get all the premium stuff, the great location, the nice amenities, but at a price that won't make your wallet cry. It's a really appealing message, for sure.
And to back that up, they list a pretty solid set of features. Besides the standard in-room appliances, they highlight some really significant perks. I mean, free parking in the Anaheim resort area, that alone can save you a surprising amount of money.
And here's one of their key selling points in action. After a long, hot day of walking through the park, the idea of relaxing in a pool or hot tub is a huge draw. This is all part of that top-tier experience they're advertising. Okay, but now we get to the really juicy part. The story gets a lot more interesting when we move past the marketing and look at what the actual guest ratings tell us. And wow, the data tells a very, very clear story. Guests love the location, scoring it a very respectable 3.9 out of 5. No big surprise there. But then you look at the scores for cleanliness and rooms, and they just take a nosedive, dropping to 3.4 and 3.3. That's a huge gap. So this is the crucial point. This is the trade-off that guests keep reporting. You get that convenient walk to the park, but you might be sacrificing the quality of the room you come back to at night. And hey, by the way, if you find these kinds of data-driven explainers helpful, please take a quick second to subscribe and like. It really helps us keep making more. Now let's see how this data actually translates into the real-world guest experience. We're going to move from the numbers to the actual words and photos shared by people who have stayed there.
This is just a classic case of expectation versus reality. On the left, you've got the slick, professional promo image from the hotel. Looks clean, well-appointed. But on the right, that's a photo a real traveler shared of a stained sheet they found during their stay. This picture pretty much visualizes that data gap we just saw.
And it doesn't get much more direct than this. In the insider tips section, where guests share advice, one visitor left this stark warning. It's a short sentence that speaks volumes about their experience with the cleanliness of the floors.
And digging down into specific reviews, a guest named Robert H., who was there with his family, actually cited unsanitary conditions as the main reason he cut his stay short and checked out early.
And then another guest, Annie L., pointed out something else entirely. She reported seeing a sign posted in the stairwell warning that the facility contains chemicals known to cause cancer, which she, understandably, found pretty concerning.
So, this brings us to our final breakdown. We've seen the hotel's pitch, we've analyzed the data, and we've heard from the guests. Let's lay out the clear pros and cons that have come up.
Really, this is a hotel of contrasts. The pros are genuinely strong. You've got an excellent location for walking to Disney, a budget price, and that super valuable free parking. But those are weighed against some significant cons that guests have reported, mostly centered on cleanliness, the condition of the rooms, and some negative service interactions. Ultimately, there's no simple yes or no answer here. Instead, you're left with a very clear choice, and it all comes down to your personal priorities as a traveler. Are you someone who just needs a place to crash and values that proximity and price above all else? Or is a clean, comfortable room an absolutely essential part of your vacation experience? The answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know about whether the Queens Inn is the right choice for you.